Okay.
Okay, well, it's 5:30. We'll call this meeting to order. And we'll ask our deputy clerk, Ms. Carrillo, to call the roll, please.
Cordova,
Here.
Mr. Duet,
Here.
Mr. Merritt,
Here.
Ms. Ortega,
Here.
Mr. Rattler,
Here.
Mr. Self,
Here.
Ms. Smith,
Here.
Mr. Watkins,
Here.
and Mayor Davidson.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. So welcome to everyone. I will lead us in a prayer. If you would join me, and Counselor Smith will lead us in the pledge and salute to the flag. Dear Lord, we lift our voices in prayer, asking for the complete and swift recovery of our city clerk and friend, Danielle. We ask for wisdom as we make decisions that affect our entire community. We pray for the safety of those who serve our city, our county, and our country. We thank you for the recent rain, the beautiful weather, and for all the blessings and lessons you have given us. In your name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And to the state of Mexico, to be a symbol of recognition among united cultures.
Sit down. I'm ahead of myself. Ms. Mitchell, are there any guests attending remotely? Okay. Our first item is approval of the minutes of April 7th, 2026 meeting. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, I've got a motion by Counselor and second by Counselor Mayor Pro Tem to approve the minutes of April 7th, 2026. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. The minutes are approved. That was motion by Counselor Merrick. Next up is public comment. The public may address the council and city business during the public comment period. Speakers must sign in prior to the meeting. Up to 6 speakers per topic will be allowed, with each speaker limited to 3 minutes unless the mayor or a councilor requests clarification. Please state your name for the record before you begin. Your time will start when you do. To comply with the Open Meetings Act, council will not respond or engage in dialogue during public comment and will not take action on items not listed on the agenda. Please direct all remarks to the chair and follow meeting procedures so everyone has the same opportunity to be heard. Comments may be referred to the appropriate city department for follow-up as needed. I will ask all speakers tonight, including counselors, staff, everybody, people at the podium, to speak directly into the microphones and keep them at a close range. We've been having some audio issues. So first up, Joe Lentini. Floor is yours, sir.
They call me JJ. My name is Joe Lentini, South Avenue Way. This tree on Evelyn, I spoke to the mayor again. It's on 5th, coming this way, and that tree is blocking the stop sign, and this is 2 years now. I saw a street cleaner. I'd like to have my street cleaned. I already spoke to the mayor. He told me it's a state street cleanup, so whenever you get yours, please take care of my block between 9th and 10th on South Avenue Way. Now, I've been hearing a lot about this Portales becoming Texas. That's a bowl load of crap over. Leave Roosevelt County alone. We don't want no drilling here. We're very happy as it is, although we could use more stores. Now, I was listening to KOB a couple of weeks ago, and they said we're not allowed to barbecue here. There was no barbecuing in the state. So I called KOAT up and they said, go to your fire department, see what they say. I went to the fire department, they said, you can't barbecue, but you gotta stay by your barbecue grill and you're better off using the gas one. Cause that, the charcoal one, everything goes flying all over the place. I don't know what's what, but kindly somebody called me and you all got my phone number. We need more lights on the side streets. Hey, I volunteer, put it right in front of my house, a nice big bright light. I'm tired of throwing nails at my tires. And the new nails, and it's gotta be a tire place here, cause they want you to go there and get new tires or have the parts fixed. And I'm not thrilled about that. July 4th, our country is celebrating 250 years. What are we doing here? We gotta have a party, we gotta be shown, people gotta know about us. September 11th, 9/11, 25 years this year. I was up close and personal to that, I'm a New Yorker. And if I hear a plane here, I automatically think of that. I remember seeing that plane sticking out of the Twin Towers. And I remember telling my daughter and showing her the plane while the other plane came around and hit the other tower. It's a nightmare. You can't forget things like that. They've been talking about railroad stations, railroad trains. I think coming from Colorado going into New Mexico. And they even said, this is where you would transfer to Portales. Where's it going to stop here? If you're going to make a station, the best place is by Walmart so the people can stop, park there. You know, we need, that would be great for travel instead of driving. When your police cars go anywhere near Walmart or any of the other stores, please let them check the parking spots for handicapped people. I never get a handicap spot and I don't see no handicap things on the glass, the rear view mirror. How do they get away with this? Farmers Market and Walmart.
Okay.
And I heard somebody say that's enough, so I'll shut up. Have a great one.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
King. Maureen Bach.
Good morning, Baca. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. So I used to be the worst critic that used to come in here and give you guys a lot of bull. But today, I would like to thank you because me, as being a citizen in Portales, I see change and I feel change. It's something that has been lacking in Portales. And because of all of you, we're barely in April and there's been a lot that's already been done. And I thank each and every one of you. I also see it in the staff, which thank you, staff, because I see your attitudes have changed as well with the change. The great thing is that we're bringing pride back to Portales. And that's what I like to see. And I just can't thank you guys enough, and I'll try not to be your worst critic. Right now. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We move to presentation items. I am honored this evening to present a proclamation declaring April 2026 as Month of the Military Child in the city of Portales in recognition of the strength, resilience, and sacrifice of the children of our military families. And at this time, I will read the City of Portales, New Mexico Month of the Military Child, April 2026. Whereas thousands of brave military members across New Mexico have demonstrated their courage and commitment to freedom by serving in the armed forces of the United States, both on active duty and in the National Guard and reserves. And whereas the City of Portales, located in Roosevelt County, is honored to work alongside Cannon Air Force Base, local schools, and community partners to provide social, emotional, and academic support to children of service members as they transition between schools and face unique challenges. And whereas the state of New Mexico is home to thousands of military children, including hundreds residing in Roosevelt County, many of whom are part of the Portales community. and whose parent or parents are stationed at Cannon Air Force Base. And whereas children and youth of our service members continue to make meaningful contributions to their families, schools, and community, despite the hardships of deployments, relocations, and prolonged separations. And whereas these children represent strength, resilience, and pride, and it is fitting that we recognize their sacrifices, celebrate their spirit, and reaffirm our commitment to support them while their parents serve our nation. Now, therefore, I, Michael W. Davidson, Mayor of the City of Portales, New Mexico, do hereby proclaim April 2026 as Month of the Military Child in the City of Portales, and encourage all residents to recognize and honor the contributions and sacrifices of military children and their families. I would like to recognize some distinguished guests we have with us this evening from Cannon Air Force Base. As I call your name, please stand. Colonel Johnston, Wing Commander. Colonel McMaster, Vice Wing Commander. Mr. George Jones, Director of Staff. Master Sergeant High, Public Affairs Superintendent. Mr. Jacob Albers, Non-Commissioned Officer in Charge, Community Engagement. And Sarah Williams, School Liaison. I would ask Miss Williams to join me up front.
Yes.
We're very honored to have you here tonight, and we wish to present this to you. And thank you all so much for your service. Sure, come on up. Thank you so much. We can get you all the picture. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No, you're good. I recognize you don't by the haircut. I just told my age. I'm pretty sure so.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We do thank all of y'all for being here this evening. The City of Portales thanks you for your service to our community and to our country. I hadn't been on the air base for 5 decades, so I was a little bit nervous going out there on my first visit, but these folks made me feel welcome and comfortable, and it was very much appreciated. So, except for the ID process. Those guys made me look like a sunburned lobster. So I do want to commend the professional gate guards. Every time I go through, they manage to keep a straight face when they look at that ID, and I definitely want to give them kudos. First up, we have a discussion item at the request of Councilor Ortega. We have wastewater treatment plant financial and operational update from Mr. Gallegos.
Sure, yeah, start.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here, council. So I'm just giving you an update basically on the little rate that you have to pay extra. So in 2015, the city of Portales did major upgrades to the wastewater treatment and reuse system. To pay for this project, the city received a loan up to $26.5 million. And because of the loan must be repaid over time, the city council adopted ordinance number 715. To make sure there would always be a steady dedicated source of money to back the loan. Ordinance 715 adopted on June 16, 2015, did 3 major things: created a monthly water and sewer surcharge on the utility bills, which is currently what, $21 total. They created a protected dedicated accounts that can also be used to repay the wastewater project and required those accounts to be properly funded and kept separate from normal operating things. This ensures money collected for the wastewater plant cannot be used for other city purposes. How the surcharge works, the surcharge applies to residential, commercial, and multi-user accounts plus Roosevelt County Water Co-op. Amounts were phased in it during 2015 and 2016. The surcharge must stay in place until the loan is completely paid off. And the ordinance automatically ends once the loan is fully repaid. Currently status, it's a 20-year loan. Started in January 2017, its scheduled payoff is 2037, and the remaining balance is 14.6 million. So until we pay that off, that $21 on the bill will continue to go until we get that loan paid off. The city is expected to keep making regular annual payments until 2037 using the surcharge revenue placed into the dedicated accounts. And basically, that's about where that $21 that everybody sees on the bill monthly goes. So we paid off earlier, or 37 we make those payments. So that.
Okay, thank you, Pat. Is it questions from council?
Question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pat. We'll move to discussion item 2, 2026 update to the existing 2023 City of Portales Comprehensive Plan. Mr. Mitten, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll,
Yeah.
2022, City of Portales undertook some fact finding. Did some research. Conducted surveys and updated the standing at the time comprehensive plan. For those of you who don't know, a comprehensive plan is a document that covers basically the economic, socioeconomic, educational, housing, and all things in between, and the status almost, if you will, of the state of municipality. And based on the feedback and the direction and the vision of leaders, managers, and constituents or residents in the city, they put together a document that gives you a guiding principle for the next 5 years or so, generally, to give you some direction when you work toward accomplishing goals and whatnot in a municipality. So 2022, they did a lot of work to put this together. 2023, it was voted on and accepted. And there's a lot of data points in there, but now it's 2026. Ideally, we would go for 5 years before updating a comprehensive plan, but there are some drivers that almost require us right now to update the comprehensive plan, and I will go into those with a little bit of detail here in just a moment. Next slide, please. So why did we jump in the middle between 2023 and say 2028 and update the plan? And I'm going to give you the big why here. There are these things called federal opportunity zones, and the federal opportunity zones were created by the federal government, Department of Revenue and Resources in 2017, I believe, 2016 to 2017. And based on their research, federal government all across the nation, there were areas put in, usually underserved areas and whatnot, that didn't have a whole lot of business. They declared these areas around certain municipalities as opportunity zones, and the federal government posted incentives for businesses to move there. And the businesses that moved to those opportunity zones and started businesses would get significant tax breaks. And that significant tax break was designed to draw those businesses to those locations. Roosevelt County had some or has some opportunity zones, but they're very small. Portales has some opportunity zoning in it, but it's very small, and we pretty much consumed it. We don't have any more room to maneuver in our opportunity zones. They're no longer really opportunities. for people who might want to come somewhere to reduce their tax base on large businesses. Now, keep this in mind, in our comprehensive plan and even just general conversations, one of the things that we say as a community is we need to bring more stuff into Portales. Well, then, I mean, the next question or a following question is why? Why would I come here? Well, I mean, because I like Portales, or I like the streets, or I like the trees, or whatever, but a lot of people like tax breaks, especially on really big businesses. So these opportunity zones, when they're already taken up or occupied, that's no longer an incentive, that's off the table. So we need to apply for more opportunity zones. Well, to apply for more opportunity zones, your business development plan or your plan nested in your comprehensive plan has to show that you're going to request or apply for additional opportunity zones, or that you have them. Ours doesn't have them right now. Now, here's the catch. These opportunity zones started in 2017. And the federal government's referring to it as Oz 1 right now. Oz 1 ends on 31 December, I think, 2026. It's over. Oz 1's done. Oz 2 is on the table. Oz 2, Opportunity Zone 2 by the federal government, is opening up a very narrow window of about 30 days for municipalities to put in for additional opportunity zones. They have to be by tract and whatnot, but we don't have any. And they have to be in your comprehensive plan. So we are moving to do an intermediate rewrite of our comprehensive plan to get those opportunity zones put in there so that we can take up advantage. And I think I'm going ahead of my slideshow, but so we can take advantage of that window and put those applications in. Now, let's see if I can catch up to myself next time. What it is, opportunity zones. Everybody want to read that? You want to read it? That's what I just said. How about that? Next slide. Why opportunity zone? I covered the 2017 part. You can see the 3 bullets under that. That's the why. And it's going to go through, they're going to do an Oz 2, like I said. They're taking applications basically now. Deadline for applications, according to my research, is 31 July. But that doesn't mean that we have till 31 July. That means that our legislators and whatnot have till 31 July. So we got to do some stuff. But let's take a look at what it does for businesses. When I say business, I'm not talking about like KW shoes. You know, I'm not talking about a skateboard shop. I'm talking about business, like big business, millions, billions of dollar type stuff. So when you get into the millions and billions, now I've never been there, but I hear or we've seen on TV when you get into millions and billions, that 10% or 8% tax deferred or tax benefits is a big deal, right? So for these folks who would come into a Oz, an opportunity zone, they get taxes deferred, lots of taxes. They get reductions on capital gains tax. Now the thing it says here says 5 to 10 years mostly no longer available because 2026 deadline. That's on Oz 1. Oz 1's almost finished. For the people doing it, if someone moved into town, they would get some benefits for a handful of months and whatnot. But they're really interested in Oz 2. But that highlighted thing there, tax-free gains on new investment, and look at that last one. If the opportunities on investment itself is held for 10 plus years, any new gains are completely tax-free. Now, I probably will never have $1 million at my disposal. I probably won't. It's just I spend on too much stuff. But if I did, that would probably make a big difference in my life. And if I had a really nice business that made a lot of money, then I would probably like to do that in a place, right? But if we don't do this and we don't get this going, we don't make it happen, Portales, we might be in the running. Someone might just like the county building and say, I want to move my business. They might just like the view and so I want to move my business there. But if they like that tax deferment and stuff, you know, we don't do this now, that's not what's we're gonna miss it out. Make sense? I think it is. Next slide. Oz 2, Opportunity Zone 2.0 goes into effect 2026. The red arrow says so. Next realistic opportunity talks about those things. Here's a cool fact about the 4th line down. New Mexico may nominate 65 consensus tracts statewide. And that doesn't sound like a lot. Like, look at all these cities, and look at all these counties and stuff in New Mexico. Well, here's the rub. It's actually pretty good for us. Oz one, New Mexico did a pretty good job of claiming these opportunity zones. Bernardino did really well. Curry did pretty gosh darn well. Roosevelt didn't do so well. Don't know why, it doesn't matter. But 65 is a pretty big number because most of the state was saturated pretty well in Oz one, and that continues forward. They don't have to renew it. So we have a lot of open opportunity in these 65. So if we get at it now, we redo our comprehensive plan, and the catch is, we gotta redo the comprehensive plan and apply for these opportunity zones and get them into our legislators, and then we're cooking with gas. Okay, but this all goes back to, and I love what you said earlier. Thank you for thanking the team for doing stuff, because folks like you and the rest of us here, we're like, get more business in Portales. These are some of the steps you gotta do. You don't just stand on the corner and go, more business Portales. There are things you gotta do, and this is one of those things. It's incredible. Okay, so new zones become active January 1, 2027. We'll apply, we'll get the application in there, we'll get the supporting document, comprehensive plan backing that up. Then the new Oz's will be selected, identified, and they'll go into effect on 1 January 20. So, okay. So you see a little thing like this. This means what we do now between now and mid-year, we're almost mid-year, really matters. Okay, next slide. Wow, current Oz's. Really for Portales, that little circle, that's pretty much about what we got. We've got some areas in town. Now, not the whole area is an Oz, but we just weren't really represented well on the first go. We just weren't. Roosevelt County wasn't represented on the first one. 2017, I don't know, maybe we didn't think about it. I'm not sure. I don't know. But what I know moving forward is anything kind of outside that arrow, like circle, I'm sorry. It's right now on the Oz maps and the opportunities on maps. The tan color, not particularly this map, but the tan color on the opportunities on maps. It says, no go for opportunity zones. That's okay. That's a no-go today because it wasn't designated in 2017. But moving forward, we have to get our legislators to put that in the back and forth. And my understanding is Santa Fe really wants to back us on doing this. Other agencies really want to back us on doing this. We were kind of underserved. I don't mean we didn't know what it meant or whatnot. It doesn't matter. That's back then. Today's today. So this is why we got to do this comprehensive plan. And there's some other reasons too. But next slide, please. So this is just an example, but we need to take that circle that's already around town and start to expand it in the areas that make sense around the city. If I have a municipal airport and the airport's really, really nice and there's not a lot of traffic, to me, I'm not even gonna ask a question, I'm just gonna say to me, it makes sense to put an economic zone designation around that airport, right? Because I say right, but it's rhetorical, but it's an airport, and for people who want to do business, an airport might help. So it'd be really nice to have that designated around the airport as an opportunity zone so people can get tax breaks. To the east of town and to the northeast of town, we don't necessarily have to own that property. That's not the case. We have to designate it as rural, and if you come here and you work a deal with the landowner, et cetera, and you bring investment money in here, that you get tax breaks. So those areas have to be requested to put on those. And we have a whole lot of area that's not designated as opportunity zones. So we need to designate a whole lot of area and application to get those. Does that make sense? Sure. Here's the ugly part. We gotta do our work. That's not too ugly. You only get like a 30-day window for 10 years. This doesn't happen every year. It's like every 10 years. So if we miss this boat, we won't have the opportunity again. That's why a lot of things that I normally do, you didn't see today because we're working on this thing. I mean, we have to prioritize. So this is important. We're working on this stuff. Okay. All right. So that's an example. We need to expand that little circle to make a bunch of big circles, get that in front of the state and federal legislators, get them to get a yes on it, at least some of it, so that we have somewhere to grow in 10 years. Now we can grow without these, but it's not going to be as easy. Okay. All right, next slide. And here's some additional stuff. That's the biggest thing. I just want you to know those opportunity zones, the federal thing, getting the comprehensive plan now to match that, because we don't want to wait to 2018 or 2028. to do the comprehensive plan, because we will have missed that boat by several years, and we won't have another shot at it. again. Bottom line, that's not fair. Okay, now the rest of stuff I think is boring, but it's true. So, the rest of the stuff in the, comprehensive plan, the WISE, a lot of data has changed, so in there before was 2018 data, now we've updated it to 2024 data, inflation, post-COVID. Couple of things, revised strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats analysis, updated strategic implications, what that means. Next slide. Some things you'll see that are different. I'll give you a summary of changes. I'll bring this before you as a draft document and ask for your consideration. Go to this. But these are some of the changes you can see. Economic development, new and ongoing programs, 2025 gross receipts tax, the city's gonna start seeing the proceeds from that pretty soon. So that's kind of factored in there. Comfort and change names, but I made with that. Okay, or Western, what was the hotel we called before? That's Western. Now it's Comfort Inn. Okay. Made it in the document. Good job. Okay. That's nice. Housing prices and things have changed. Rent has changed. It's gone up a little bit. And so median housing prices, you'll see that reflected in the document. Next slide. Lots of updates here, animal control shelter. Animal control used to be in a steel building owned by Public Works, now it's not built, it's in its own building. New numbers in ENMU, updates to the library, updates to the airport, cemeteries going in a different direction, and parks updates and things like that. Next slide. You heard Mr. McVeigh talk about street drainage projects and things, some of them have been accomplished as well. And the other thing too about the update on the comprehensive plan is a lot of the things, believe it or not, are checked off. The things that people said, let's do this, well, we did it. And so we checked it off and now we put new things, okay, next slide. Hazard mitigation, all hazards plan, federal acceptance of the hazard mitigation plan. And a new EOC, Emergency Operations Center, things like that. Next slide. Some of the next steps to get this done, select the tracks for opportunity zone application. That's probably the most important thing. Get that in front of the planning and zoning committee. We're working on those now. Get the council consideration thing, and that other word, whatever that was, I can't read it here. Anybody see that word is over there?
Approval.
Oh, that one, yeah. And then submit the application for the submit that application for consideration to the federal government. Via our legislation. So that, next slide.
That wasn't a motion, by the way.
So that's basically it. The long pole in the tent there is to get this done so it supports the application for opportunity zone increases and expansion. And then update the key data that we're here, so you might as well do that. But to get those applications, to use this to support the applications, to get that in front of legislators. So that we can get tax breaks in Roosevelt County and around Portales to draw in big business, not the skateboard shops, although I'm not against skateboard shops. But to draw in big business that's incentivized by significant tax breaks that are coming into play with millions and billions of dollars of types of business. So did you questions?
I have one. So, what you were talking about kind of overlaps with what Roosevelt County Economic Development is tasked with doing, bringing
We're
in.
working together on this.
Okay,
And
that's
so
what
I
I'm
can
saying.
ask to support that, so
Yeah.
she kind of can't get the ball through the end zone unless I do this, and I can't get the ball through the end zone, she does that, so it's collaborative.
So just a suggestion, whenever you start mapping it out, if we've already got a circle around Portales, if we can just overlap 3 other circles to kind of take in all of that area.
Sure, 100%, and we probably have to go a lot farther, and I think I got your suggestion, the graphic representation up there was just to give you some scale, we're not this big, we need to be like this.
Right.
That was kind of my question, but I knew that was an example, but I didn't like not seeing a circle down south. You know, like we had everything else covered, but I know we'll work on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So if I would, so just so you know, I shrank the map to like whatever, and then I couldn't read it. So I just did that.
Yeah.
So you know, but the RCCDC and whatnot, that team has it down to the track, and I think the track is like 30042, somewhere on those types of things. So they've got those will be in the comprehensive plan, by tract, but that's an example, but yes.
Okay.
So I understand that Roosevelt County actually did a lot better on projects than Clovis did up into a certain point, and they opened up their opportunity zones to literally cover the entire area. And that opened up the floodgates of opportunities for them, while our very pinpoint opportunity zone stagnated because it was full. So if we do expand these, that original zone still exists,
It does.
doesn't it? Okay, so we're adding to that original
It
zone.
does, the rules will change, after 10 years of playing the opportunity zone game, the federal government's kind of learned some, lessons learned. So they're making it, number, more like block number based and stuff like that, that's for the businesses and whatnot, but yeah, the opportunity zones that were already designated in Oz 1 will remain. And then Oz 2 will open up a short window, to do that, so we'll, try to exploit that. But then the rules that come into effect in Oz 2 for the businesses that are working under Oz 1, they'll come under Oz 2 rules, but they won't. They'll still be there. That's all.
Are there any more questions at this time? This, okay,
Mr. Mayor, I had one.
okay.
So the rules don't apply to like a square mileage. Like if we wanted to designate all of Portales, we could do that.
Well, here's the thing.
Or are there
We
guidelines?
have to apply, so the rule one is no one talks about Fight Club. That's the truth. Thank you. The cities, municipalities don't designate the Oz's. We apply and we help get that going. So it's the local legislators and whatnot. So we have to go to our legislators, apply to get them expanded and teach those net for them through the areas with our comprehensive plan that says this is kind of how we want to develop. And they're the ones who do it. So like seriously, like rule one is cities don't do the Oz's, the federal elected some appointments.
Okay, thank you.
We help them with.
Where we want to go. Thank you.
Any further questions? Okay, I think this is gonna come back up later in the agenda, so thank you. Thank you. So we're gonna move to action items. And action item 1, consideration of an authorization of an MOU between City of Portales and ENMU for EV charging station installation on the ENMU campus. This item was postponed at our last meeting and is now back before the council for consideration. Ms. McVeigh, I will turn it over to you for any updates.
Good evening. So yes, I have the MOU presented for you. However, I do not have any updates. We are still collecting information and we have not come to a full resolution on all of this. So, my recommendation is to possibly postpone again. But that is up to you.
So you're waiting on the Department of Transportation on some of this?
You know, the transportation is ready to pull the trigger, they're ready to go.
Okay.
May I help clarify, Mayor?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
We're not ready to pull the trigger. So if I can remind the council, if you don't mind. So originally the grant was that ENMU and the city of Portales had to work together to do a type 3 EV charging station. That was the agreement. We had to work together. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, ENMU got a grant to put their own in. So which would put us in direct competition with ENMU. That's not in our best interest. So we approached DOT and told them that. And they said, that's okay. You don't have to work with ENMU anymore. We'll work with you. We'll give you more time to find a suitable place in the city. Well, we were all in on ENMU. Now we got to find a suitable place in the city. And we're not there yet. So we're looking for a suitable place. We know we have EV charging stations that are one part in the tank, so you don't want to put them there. We got to find the right place. And so we're looking for that right. So that deal.
If I might, I don't want to postponing here this every 2 weeks. So what's our option to just take it off of the table until she's ready to put it back on?
So I will ask for a specific motion in this case. I will ask for a motion to postpone to a date uncertain. And that way it stays active. It's not tabled, it's not postponed indefinitely, but she determines, or the city determines when it comes back to us when they're ready. So it doesn't kill it, it just at any rate, if I could get someone to make a motion to postpone to a date uncertain.
I would make that motion.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Counselor Merrick, second by Counselor Ortega to postpone this item to a date uncertain until it is ready for council action. Is there any further discussion? Okay, this item involves legal matters. Ms. Carrillo, please call the roll.
Ms. Cordova,
Yes.
Mr. DeWitt,
Yes.
Mr. Merritt,
Yes.
Ms. Ortega,
Yes.
Mr. Reckler,
Yes.
Mr. Self,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Watson,
Yes.
and Mayor Davis.
Nope. I don't get to vote. Okay. I didn't vote no.
Thank you.
Ms. McVeigh, just please complete the necessary research and coordinate with staff. And when you're ready, bring this back to us for action.
Yes.
So, okay, thank you. Action item 1 under finance, governing bodies consideration and approval of auction list. Ms. Rivera?
Council. Included in your packet is the list of items requested to dispose through a public auction. The listed number of switches and the desktop phones. This was done replacement for 4 years ago. With that, I'll stand for any questions and seek your approval.
Any questions? Okay, Chair will entertain a motion on this item.
I'm
So
to
moved.
approve.
Okay, I have a motion by Counselor Self, a second by Counselor DeWitt
Yes.
to approve the auction list. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Fire Department, action item 1, consideration and authorization to donate surplus and expired equipment to the Village of Columbus Fire Department. Chief?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. Sorry, but not sorry for all the items on the agenda because they're all good items that the city and departments throughout our state. This specific item was just your permission to donate equipment that we can no longer use and that can't be used in the United States that has been deemed either out of service by date or by certain standards that we have to follow, because Columbus Fire Department has been the go-to to donate expired equipment in the United States to departments in Mexico. So we have a lot of SCBA bottles, SCBAs, bunker gear, things that can't be used that are worth $0, but we need your approval so that we can transfer that. Outstanding.
Any questions?
I have one, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I'm gonna quit, I promise, but is there any liability to the city on these things that are outdated and not usable, and then we're giving them to somebody to use?
No, because they are deemed outdated and not usable. They are aware of that and they are making the acknowledgement and the choice.
It's probably more liability than keeping them here than.
I mean, if we were to keep them here, they would go to the convenience center. This allows usable equipment that is still good and serviceable, but it's based on dates that expired bunker gear that is 10 years old, that is still potentially good, but we can't use it in the United States, is one example.
Okay, are there any other questions, Chief? Okay, Chair will entertain a motion on this item.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Cordova, second by Councilor Watkins to approve donation of surplus and expired equipment to the Village of Columbus Fire Department. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Fire Department action item 2, consideration and approval of signatures for the firefighter recruitment fund received April 10, 2026. Chief?
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. So there was a grant that popped up in conjunction with the FY 25 firefighter recruitment fund that allowed us to go from 8 personnel to 9. That funded those positions for 100% first year, and I think it was 15% the next year. Or something of that nature, it's a certain portion of it. There was money left over, so they put it out to pay a reimbursement grant for equipment purchased for those firefighters. So I applied with that, and we have been tentatively awarded a little over 93,000. It requires the signature of the city manager, finance director, myself via DocuSign, so we're just here to get your approval for that. Okay.
Any questions?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Counselor Merrick, second by Counselor Rackler to approve fire department, finance department, and city manager signatures on the firefighter recruitment fund. Is there any further discussion? This item involves city finances. Ms. Carrillo, please call the roll.
Ms. LaBova,
Yes.
Mr. DeWitt,
Yes.
Mr. Merrick,
Yes.
Ms. Ortega,
Yes.
Mr. Rattler,
Yes.
Mr. South,
Yes.
and Ms. Smith,
Yes.
and Mr. Watkins.
Yes.
It passes.
Okay. Fire Department action item 3, consideration and approval of resolution 2026-13, removal of time barred non-collectible accounts. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So this is the annual thing that we do to write off those debts that have been deemed as time barred or not collectible. I always tell this story, and I will tell it until the end of time. About twice a year, I get a phone call from an EMS billing company. And they want to take over our billing because they can do a phenomenal job. And they boast about a 60% collection rate. Our ladies are sitting at about 88% so far this year. The total amount does look high at a little over 105,000, but when you take into consideration the length of time that was there, it's about 1% of the revenue collected. You look at the 244 accounts, it's about a little less than 2% of the calls or the claims for that time. But we just have to have your approval on resolution 2026-13 so that we can declare those as time barred.
Any questions from council? Chair will entertain a motion on this item.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Counselor Smith, second by Counselor Watkins to approve resolution 2026-13, removal of time barred non-collectible accounts. Any further discussion? Ms. Carrillo, please call the roll.
Yes.
Mr. DeWitt,
Yes.
Mr. Merrick,
Yes.
Ms. Ortega,
Yes.
Mr. Rattler,
Yes.
Mr. South,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Watkins.
Yes.
It passes.
Okay, Fire Department action item 4. Next item, the Fire Department, Portales Fire Department consideration and approval to ratify the mayor's and fire chief's electronic signatures on the fiscal year 2027 Fire Protection Fund application.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So this is our annual Fire Protection Fund application that we apply for each year. The money that it comes to the state from a portion of business and homeowner insurance gets pooled up. And then based on their formula funding, based on how many stations we have that are main or substation, and then our ISO score, we get a certain amount of funding each year. We are based on their funding, we're set to get a little over 218,000 minimum. If there's extra money over, they split it out throughout the state. But this is a good thing that helps us buy equipment, pay for training, pay for maintenance, and a lot of different things. So we just ask for your approval or ratification of the mayor and my signature.
Okay, any questions?
Just a comment.
Okay.
This is the very fund that supplies a lot of the funding for all of our rural departments to be able to operate on, so. It's good that we all get to take part of it, so.
Questions this way? Okay, the chair will entertain a motion on this item.
So moved.
Okay, I've got a motion by Counselor DeWitt, second by Counselor Ortega to ratify, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
to ratify the
Correct.
mayor's and fire chief's electronic signatures on the fiscal year 2027 Fire Protection Fund application. Any further discussions? Okay, Ms. Carrillo, please call the roll.
Yes.
Mr. DeWitt,
Yes.
Mr. Merritt,
Yes.
Ms. Ortega.
Yes.
Mr. Ratcliffe,
Yes.
Mr. Self,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
and Mr. Watkins.
Yes.
It passes.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Chief. Next item, city manager, consideration and authorization of resolution 2026-14, adopting the 2026 update to the city of Portales comprehensive plan.
Okay, so truth in lending, we put both the briefing and the information brief discussion on the updates to the comprehensive plan and discussion items. And then we put this as consideration for approval in case we're ready. So we're trying to get this moved pretty quick. We're not ready. That's the bottom line. So the document is coming along well, but still working with RCC, DC, et cetera, to get those specific AUSs in there. And then do final quality control checks on the document itself. And then we'll have it ready for presentation, but council it's not ready this time. So what I would recommend is someone make a motion to postpone until it is ready. And we can put forward, but it's not ready yet. Resolution should not be signed.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
I would like to make that recommendation, but I would also like to recommend that the importance, just explain the importance of getting this document done, and if it is done, that we all be available to, if we have to have a special meeting to get this approved.
Yes.
So I make that motion that we
Okay.
postpone until ready.
Second.
Okay.
Undefined date, is that what you call it?
Undefined date. Undisclosed.
Time.
Date unknown.
Date unknown.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Cordova, a second by Councilor Ortega. To postpone to date unknown. Any further discussion? Okay, Ms. Creel, please call the roll.
Yes.
Mr. DeWitt,
Yes.
Mr. Merritt,
Yes.
Ms. Ortega,
Yes.
Mr. Ratcliffe,
Yes.
Mr. Self,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
and Mr. Watkins.
Yes.
It passes.
Okay, we go ahead and move to the city manager report.
I'm already.
See that.
Nobody else needs. City manager's report. I'm not gonna say much about finance because I think that the Madam Finance Director will say things about it. I'm gonna talk mostly about community engagement and outreach. So we had a couple of town halls this weekend and we have some scheduled in the future. But from the city manager's standpoint, I really do appreciate your comments earlier on the change. We had anecdotally, we had a town hall on animal control last night. Was it last night?
Yes.
They all seem to run together. I don't know which Thursday I'm on this week. And we felt as employees of the city that could be a contentious town hall meeting, and it wasn't. It was a very productive, non-contentious town hall meeting where people of the county and city talked about ways to get after problems that the city has. In this case, it was animals and animal control and things like that. And a couple of the folks who came in, they were concerned about the county dropping off dogs with the city and overwhelming the city and so on. And we got that, but before the night was over, the county people and the city people were working together on how to get this thing going. And people were staying afterwards and enjoying each other's company, talking about getting things solved. And I haven't been here that long, but my understanding is that dynamic didn't exist very much a couple of months ago. Another anecdotal example, we went to the water rates. We host a water rates increase. It's no secret, it's public record. We're raising water rates. We're not really raising them, we're catching up. But in any case, it's uncomfortable. So we had a water rate town hall. And people came in, and it could have been contentious, and it wasn't. And instead, I mean, we ideas came up on the table, but we had some personalities that showed up that are notorious for being a little bit cross from time to time. But at the end of the day, literally at the end of that day, that personality was offering solutions that we followed up on and did in fact help out and reduce costs for some city projects and programs. So what we're starting to see through community outreach and working together as a team is people coming to the table and helping the city and the city helping people. And we're going in a different place than we were, I would argue, 10 or 11 months ago. So community outreach is completely working. Citizen involvement is completely working. And we fully intend on doing more of it. And as a city staff, one, we're completely appreciative of, the lack of contentiousness in a meeting. And we're certainly applaud the positive attributes of doing these things and the help that we're doing. We're literally having people come and going, I can get you a better quote on that. What say you, et cetera. And we're making it happen. It's amazing to watch happen. So yeah, super happy about that. Community engagement and outreach just is really working. So it's success. Most of this is budget stuff. I'll let the finance team handle that. Some upcoming events, they're on the calendar, but April 27th and 28th, there's a financial budget workshop. April 30th, there's a public works meeting. May 4th is the infrastructure capital improvement plan committee meeting, and that should be the final meeting of the ICIP committee. So that after that, we should be ready to present to council the final findings from the ICIP committee. And we put a lot of work towards that. And then May 4th, there's a planning and zoning commission meeting. So that includes the city managers.
Okay, thank you. And Alyssa, did you have something? Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. So usually I don't do the clerk's report. But I do first of all want to thank everybody for being here and giving me the opportunity to do the clerk's report. First of all, I do want to ask to continue praying for Miss Danielle. Second of all, I do want to introduce our new records clerk. His name is Mr. Jordan Moody. He's the new records clerk. I was getting unfamiliar today with the most important job that we have, and that's the IPRA request. And so we had fun on that, didn't we? All right. Another thing is we did go to training to Las Vegas, New Mexico last week. That was great. It's always good to go out there and learn. It is a requirement in our position that we have. So this gives us the opportunity to get certified for CMCs, certification clerks. And then our PATS department, it has been slow off and on. We only do have one driver, and so right now she's dealing with a bit of illness. So continue to work on that. We did also have our spring lodgers tax meeting this April 8th. I thought that turned out pretty good. So that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Human resources.
Good evening. Some updates with HR. We are fully staffed with our 2 positions. We'll be heading to training this week for active shooter training that the New Mexico Municipal League will be conducting for us. We have had quite a busy time frame since last council meeting. We were able to do 6 conditional offers for employment for staff coming on board. Out of those 6, we were able to have 5 new employees start since the last time we met on the 7th. We still have 3 employees that plan to come on next month. So we're doing good on staffing, continuing to get our vacancies filled. We were able to work towards having 2 benefits meeting for all staff within the Public Works Department and the library. So we've been busy with onboarding and enrollments and things like that since the state switched their open enrollment from fall to spring. Right now we're in open enrollment. We've had 17 one-on-one meetings since last time we met on council for open enrollments, and just continually working on trying to get all our vacancies. Right now, with all our full-time, part-time, all our staffing for the city, it looks like we're at 160 employees out of the 172 that were budgeted. So we're getting closer, hopefully, to that threshold to be able to be fully staffed. But still working, and then of course keep on retaining our staff as well for the ones that we have existingly. So that's all the updates for HR.
Thank you. Library.
Okay, for the library, we are fully staffed. They finished our landscape refresh last week. It looks really nice. And I told Mr. Mitten earlier that I have resisted the urge to tell people to get off my lawn whenever I see them out there in the rocks and things, but it does look really nice. I encourage you to come by and take a look at that. We also finished our book sale last week. It is the biggest book sale in terms of what we have earned for as long as I've been there, and I think for as long as they've done in the past. This year we raised $3,310.07. And I think that's a good $1,300 over what we made last year. And last year was a banner year for us as well. The art auction wrapped up today at noon. I don't know for sure. I haven't heard from the auctioneer, but what I could gather from the website looks like we made $1,955 off of the items that were up for auction. And then just so that everybody know, the Roosevelt County Historical Museum will be there tomorrow for Roosevelt County refreshers. It is hiss and tell with native snake species, and there will be snakes there. No rodents, Mr. Watkins, so we don't have to worry about that. And I can actually attend because that won't be there either. So I encourage you all to be there for that. So that's all I've got.
Thank you.
I'll try and keep it at home.
Community services.
Perfect. So I don't have a lot to report. We only have one open position. All of our other positions have been filled, and we are working on sending an offer out for that one position. So fingers crossed, next time we will be completely staffed. As Mr. Mitten had said, we did have a successful airport workshop and an animal shelter town hall that we did yesterday. Because we've been talking about a comprehensive plan, Mr. Mitten had pointed out that the previous comprehensive plan did surveys. One of the survey responses we had gotten a lot was people were afraid to use parks or walk on the street because of strays. So since this department came under the community services, we've taken 1,285 strays off the street. And since these numbers came up, I wanted to say here, we're not focused just on taking strays off, but between the TNR and the spay and neuter project, the city has funded or earmarked for approval 236 spay and neuter. So we're pretty excited with how well everything's been going. Thank you.
Finance.
Well, no changes in the positions in finance, although I'm very happy Jenna has the other position now. The finance director can really utilize the help of our deputy finance director, so you'll start to really see him in some of our finance activities and presentations. Just a reminder, our upcoming budget workshop is with council and finance committee members on Monday here at 4. We scheduled part 1 and part 2. However, last year we were able to get it completed on day 1. That is my hopes again this year, but we did plan for 2 days just in case. And then on May 21st, we have a finance committee meeting scheduled, and that will be for the final preliminary budget that will be submitted to LGBMS. And that'd be it.
Okay, thank you. Public Works.
So last check, I'm still at about 10 vacancies throughout Public Works coming and going. I think we made an offer to our lead mechanic. So hopefully if it goes right, we'll get a start date in May sometime, but we'll see how that goes. And then, so as far as projects, the softball complex, we got it asphalted and everything. We went through it. I seen some stuff that I didn't like, so we did get a quote to curb every exposed side of that parking lot so we can help preserve the asphalt itself. So hopefully we'll get that done pretty soon as well. And we do have a couple more projects starting. One's going to be Avenue F from First to Commercial right here by the bus barn, all them potholes right there in the middle of the road. So that will be done. And then North M Place, the dead end block off of Lime, that will be done as well. We recently had to replace a water line through it, kind of tore it up, but hopefully we'll get that fixed pretty soon with new pavement.
Okay, thank you. Police Department.
All right, so since the last meeting when we had lost one, we've got one that will start May 11th. So we did a 1-for-1 there, leaving us still with 2 vacancies. The one that's going to start on the 11th is an experienced officer, it's already certified, and it's going to move back to investigations for us, so we can fill that slot that was vacated by our one that left to go to work at the church camp. Our officers so far year to date, just under 3,000 calls for service total, 125 arrests and 390 reports that they've had to write based off of everything. Youth sports, TJ's got the summer programs going. I saw an email earlier for spring or summer flag football signups coming up. And he's also going to be helping out with the Gus Mecker that's going to be going on in June. So other than that, we're just all staying busy. Lots of people out to training and of course vacation starting, but so we're doing good back there.
Okay, thank you. And fire department.
Your fire department remains fully staffed at this time. We have 4 personnel in the process of planning to take their EMT intermediate in August. We have 4 personnel attending the EMS Region 3 conference May 1st through the 3rd. 10 of our 11 fire apparatus are in service. All 6 ambulances are in service, 5 equipped, 1 in reserve. For April, 81% of our calls were EMS with 19% fire, with an average response time of 11.5 minutes. On April 9th, I had the opportunity and the privilege to speak with our seniors about fire safety and our fire department capabilities. Then on the 16th, I got to go to Las Vegas, New Mexico, and speak to the Clerks Association and Finance Director Association about firefighter and EMS reporting to the state and recruitment and retention. Station 2 has responded to 79 calls for service in April. We do have EMS week coming up May 17th to the 23rd. And on May 20th, we're going to have a car seat safety program performed by the DOT that we're going to host at Station 1.
Okay. We will have counselor comments. Counselor DeWitt, do you have anything? Sorry to catch you right at that moment.
Recruitment and retention sounds great. Y'all are doing a great job. The roads, people are, I'm not hearing as much griping because we're making progress. We're making great progress. They're looking great. And what Mr. Minton was saying earlier about the people participating in the town halls, whether they're showing up or just listening, going back and look, community is more than just a bunch of people in one area. It's people that's getting along and trying to help make life easier for one another and working for the same goal. And I really feel that we're doing a good job heading in that direction. And kudos to the city staff. I mean, everybody's doing a great job. Thank you.
Counselor Ortega. Okay, Counselor Sell.
Nothing tonight. Thank you.
Sir Watkins.
Just want to say thanks to the public works guys for keeping some roll-offs emptied and returned to get filled up again.
A couple of things. I just wanted to say thank you to the department heads that are continuously looking for funding to help your departments be successful. It's essential for the departments to be up and running. So thank you all for that. Chief Kathy, I think it would be imperative if you could have a presentation on the ISO and what that entails and response time. I know that whenever I was first on council and I was able to see that presentation, some of the funding that you present, that kind of brought it all together. So if you don't mind that, I'd appreciate that. Welcome to our new records clerk, Mr. Jordan. Welcome for being here. And then one thing that I did commit to in the town hall for the rates was payroll deductions for United Way. So Miss Jenna, if we could look at doing that as well for council and employees, that would be great. And that is all I have.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Merritt.
Just so y'all know, this mic's not working, so that's why I've been hanging out close to the.
Whatever.
But all I wanted to say was I appreciate the fact that we've got a lot of the streets repaired and looking much better. The bad part about that is I've received a couple of complaints from people about speeders now. They're all so excited to drive on nice smooth streets that they're going too fast. So just a word out to the public, please be aware of your speeds, and especially in residential areas. And keep an eye on the kids that are out playing. Sure don't need to have an accident there. And that's all I had, other than appreciate everybody and the job that they do.
Counselor Rackler.
Nothing today.
Counselor Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I just wanted to really quickly say, I love the town halls. This is something that I have been wanting to do and see for a very long time. I think it's something that is our responsibility to make ourselves completely, totally available and transparent, and give our community an opportunity to fully engage and to be a part of not problems, but as much as solutions. So Ms. Baca, to that end, I want to tell you, thank you. You kind of jokingly said, I'm not here to criticize or anything, but we need our citizens that are paying attention and bringing things to our attention. So that's a very vital thing. So please never apologize for that. We thank you for doing that. And thank you also for being willing to get up and say thank you when you like things. That's something people don't always do. So thank you. Thank you. And then I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Mitten. You did an excellent job explaining and conducting our water rates town hall very well. You helped set the tone. You explained things so very well, put people at ease, so much so that the young woman that was sitting in front of me, I was watching her body language and the way she was asking questions in the beginning, and she wasn't super happy, and she was ready to kind of ask those questions, and the way you handled it was really well. You encouraged a lot of conversation again among people, and people, it was amazing to watch people go from being frustrated and not sure what's going on to start suggesting solutions and being a part of the team and being part of a community that's taking care of each other. And afterwards, I was visiting with her about something that came up in the meeting, and she says, I came in here really upset, didn't understand. I really wanted to, but she looked at me and she said, but I completely understand now. It's something we just have to do to take care of our community. And I said, that's great. Now go tell everyone else. This is you found out. But that was largely due to Mr. Mayor and when he got up and spoke, and largely to the way you conducted the meeting and handled yourself and explained things. So thank you. And I think you were very deserving of that shout out. So thank you. And then finally, just invite people to the town halls. We've had a couple where we didn't have very many, one that nobody came to, and that's okay. We're doing our part. Now we just want to encourage our fellow citizens to take advantage and be a part. I heard somebody say that people were complaining that they don't know who to talk to, and nobody ever talks in this town, and we never know what's going on, to somebody complaining actually, well, they've got too many town halls. So it was a nice complaint to hear. So thank you guys.
Is that it?
Oh, I got more if you want. I'll keep that for next time.
Well, I didn't know that everybody's going to talk about town halls, so I have something about town halls. In the past 7 days, the city of Portales has hosted 4 town halls covering water rates, airport operations, ICIP, and animal control. And I don't recall a time when there has been this level of commitment to transparency and community inclusion. And I want to thank this team for the hard work that's gone into it. So looking ahead, we'll be attending a legislative reception tomorrow morning at 8:30 at the YAM. On Thursday, there is an E&M WUA meeting in Texaco at 3 p.m. Friday,
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
We moved it up 1 hour.
Okay. Friday morning at 10 a.m., the Armed Forces Support Committee will meet here in council chambers. It's our turn to host it. And as Liliana mentioned, next week we have budget workshops scheduled for Monday and Tuesday at 4 p.m. So next item, Mayor's Appreciation. Tonight, I want to recognize somebody that has been donating dozens of hours to the beautification of our city. Recently, he volunteered several hours a day to help rake limbs and debris in the city park. Most recently, he has been trimming trees and bushes around the senior center. And so I would like to ask Charles Armstrong to join me. Now you know why we suckered you into coming tonight. Charles, we really appreciate you. Always being there, never asking anything other than when can I be there to help. So we would like to give this. Thank you very much. And thank you.
For more hours than I.
And your shirt says it all.
Yeah.
Amen.
Your hours of volunteer work have been a positive impact on our community. Much of Charles' work has been right alongside Counselor Watkins. I think he even helped him last week when Gary got into an argument with a tree. So how you looking there?
Better.
He was looking pretty rough. I'm not sure who won that argument, but anyways, we appreciate both of you. And so with that, no further business before this council. This meeting is adjourned.